Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Hey, I'm Dave, and this is Valley Talk. Glad to have you with us today. We've got some really exciting news about all the fun and holiday activities going on. It's the Nosh Tour, it's the Twice Around Parade in Albany, and also some other really fun holiday things. For the good news, for the not so good news, well, I guess it is a little bit of good news as far as the numbers are in for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And John Gibson, our average investment guy, is here to talk with us. That's also good news.
IBM came out and said that Cyber Monday was up 30%. Black Friday was an all-time record. So their only concern is now, will it kind of dwindle towards Christmas, or will it kind of maintain a steady pace?
Now, for the bad news, Egypt. And we're going to be talking about that today. The president of Egypt, Mr. Morsi, is basically saying, I'm the guy, and my word says goes, and that's it.
He came out this morning and said, only for sovereign national decisions. So now, if you can figure out what that means, then we'll be, but they're massing in the square. I forget the name of the square.
Tahrir Square.
Right.
Tahrir? Tahrir.
I think it's Tahrir.
Tahrir Square.
Yeah, some terrible atrocities happened there last time when they threw out, what's his name? Starts with a B. Mubarak.
Yeah.
But I think the Muslim Brotherhood probably has a little tougher stand on dissidents. I would hate to see a massacre.
Right. What we're hearing right now is just off the internet, angry chants filling the square as thousands of demonstrators filling the iconic center of last year's revolt, this time to protest a recent decree that grants President Mohamed Morsi sweeping powers. And we'll be talking about that a little bit. That's kind of...
I think we went from the Arab Spring right through to Arab Winter.
Okay. So that's not quite the good news that we were hoping for this morning. So we're going to have kind of the good and the bad. And it could turn out to be the ugly as far as Cairo, Egypt, depending on what really starts to happen there. This is Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Glad to have you with us today. In the studio, we have Rod Portia. Rod, thank you for being with us.
Great to be here.
And you're with the Albany Visitors Association?
I am indeed.
And Rebecca Bond, likewise.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Lots of fun activities coming up in Albany. We're going to be talking about the Nosh Tour, Twice Around Parade, and then the Christmas Parlor Tour of Homes.
That's correct. It's the 33rd annual Christmas Parlor Tour of Historic Homes.
Okay, now before we talk about that, we do need to remind you that you can sign up for the Quiznos Taste on Us. And all you have to do is send me an email, dave@kgal.com, put Quiznos Taste on Us on the subject line, or call the radio station at 541-926-KGAL, 541-451-KGAL, and say you want to be put in the drawing for Quiznos Taste on Us. And at the end of the show, we're going to draw a name out. That winner will get a $10 gift certificate, good for anything in the store. Albany Quiznos, next to Novak's Restaurant and next to the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. Just walk in there with your certificate and you get $10 of anything there, subs, sodas, whatever. Last time Rebecca Grizzle was here, she was hiding her cell phone. Is that her walking? No, it's not her. And she texted in an unbeknownst email message to us, and she won the prize. So I
left my phone in the car, so I am not going to be able to help out on the email. Yeah.
Guests are eligible to win. So if you want to,
nice. We're working on it now. Then Rebecca's got it.
There you go. So it'll be the winning Rebeccas today. So if you're the listener and you want to be into the drawing, good luck, and send those emails in, dave@kgal.com. Put Quiznos Taste on Us on the subject line, and we'll see what we can do to give you a $10 certificate from Quiznos. Thanks to Dale and the crew for doing that. So let's talk about the first event happening in Albany. Of course, Christmas season, the weather's starting to turn. I had the Veterans Day Parade, of course, a while back. Now it's time to do some holiday things. What do we got going on?
That's right. The Downtown Twice Around Parade is this Sunday, December 2nd, and it starts at 5. Also has the tree lighting event right after the parade ends. And so it's a great time to come down to historic downtown Albany. If you haven't been in the last week, they've added the snowflakes, and so it's just a beautiful time to come visit downtown Albany. And the parade, the Twice Around Parade, which both Rebecca and I will be participating in, me for the first time. Have you ever been in the parade, Rebecca?
I have, with the family, yes.
Okay, well,
and with the Visitors Association.
We're very excited that we'll
be
be
Santa
taking
Claus?
part. I will not be Santa Claus. I cannot divulge anything anything other than to say, look for some really bad Christmas sweaters and some umbrellas, but we'll be the ones making complete fools of ourselves.
In a fun way.
In a fun way, yes. So anyway, that's on this Sunday, and a great time to come down to historic downtown Albany.
You've really opened yourself up there for a line there.
Following the parade is our community tree lighting. And this year's tree has some extra lights, thanks to some generous sponsors. And we also have Christmas ornaments that were decorated by Tahkeena and Central Elementary schools that will be hung this week. So we're excited to have that.
The Twice Around Parade, now so named because it goes twice around downtown.
It's that good. You get to see it twice. Yeah.
There you go.
So it really doesn't matter where the horses are?
And you can, eat your... because they're going to go twice around.
Yeah, you get to go twice around. Yeah, it's fun. And there are all kinds of different participants, so it's fun for the family. And, of course, it's just before the tree lighting ceremony, so you got to hit both of them. If you're going to hit one, you may as well hit both of them because it's that fast. It's not like the Veterans Day Parade that takes a long time. As much as we love that, you can see the Twice Around Parade and... What do you think? Like
really, it's
10, 15 minutes tops?
Maybe 20, yeah. It goes by quickly, so we want people to be there right at 5.
How many entries are in the Twice Around Parade?
We don't know yet.
It's a secret.
I haven't heard.
It is?
Yeah, I don't know how many.
There's lots of secrets with you today.
Yeah.
The front of the parade has never touched the back of the parade
I was
that
going to
I
ask
know
that.
of.
Is it going to be a loop?
Right.
I mean, the front of the parade will touch the back of the parade, and is this endless loop, or there'll be a pause between the front and the back, probably.
It seems like it would depend on how many people are there.
There's
that's
usually a little bit
out.
of a pause, but if not, if it does get to that point, then we'll just add another block.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, it's 2 city blocks.
We'll just add another horseshoe.
Yeah, if we get that many. Yeah.
Let's add another block.
Yeah, it's a fun community, family-oriented event.
Yeah. And it's
People
great.
dress up their dogs. I mean, it's
When is it again?
Sunday, December 2nd, and it all starts right at 5.
And then, of course, the Christmas tree lighting afterwards.
immediately afterwards.
Which is still at the Two Rivers Market parking lot right there on the corner of 2nd and Ferry.
Now, this is my first Christmas season in Albany, so bear with me here. Who gets to flip the switch?
The mayor.
Sharon Canopa.
We have a very special switch for the Christmas tree lights, and that is her honor,
And then, so afterwards, Christmas season is officially underway, and go and shop.
That's right, and the very next week is probably in the top 5, at least in the days of Albany, reasons to come to Albany, visitors, is the Christmas Parlor Tour. And Rebecca works really hard on behalf of the Albany Visitors Association to make this happen, along with a dedicated group of volunteers. So that's a really big day for Albany, not only for folks who live in Albany, but we get folks from Portland and beyond who come here just for the historic home tour, the Christmas Parlor Tour.
So let's talk about that a bit. How many homes are you going to visit?
We have 5 private residences, and then we also include our churches. We have the United Presbyterian Church and the Whitesfriars Church. The Carnegie Library is open for this tour, and it's the only time of year that they light their fireplace. So it's a real nice feeling in there. And then our museums, we have the Monteith House Museum, which is a lot of people say that's their favorite because there are folks in pioneer costume. They have the fires lit. It's lit by candlelight and firelight from the fireplaces. The carousel takes part, and the Albany Regional Museum.
Wow, I'm going to be there. My significant other and I are going to be there. And Norma, if you're listening, it's wonderful time. She's excited about it, and I hear a lot of talk about the Christmas Parlor Tour. They say, Dave, you've got to go to the Christmas Parlor Tour.
It's really nice. It's a nice way to step back. It's a very community event. These people open their homes, they decorate for Christmas, and they open their homes and share their Christmas traditions. Something special this year, too, the Central School will be open for this parlor tour. So they want to kind of show off some of the work that they had done. And Central School was designed by Charles Burgraff, who's a really well-known Oregon architect. And it's a pretty significant building for Albany, so we are pleased to share that as well.
And it's historic. It's coming up on its 100th anniversary in 1915. It was built, so it's another another reason to see it, to show it off. It's a great asset for our historic downtown.
I love the historic. The first thing I fell in love with Albany was, of course, from about the green, because I'm from the other side of the state, where many times of the year it's kind of brown. Sagebrush brown is what we call it over there. But over here it's nice and green. But the next thing I noticed was the historic homes, the beautiful homes in the downtown section of Albany and just off of the downtown core. And then I think the first event I covered was in the Flynn building. I think it's the Flynn building. It's upstairs where the beautiful
Flynn Block Hall. Recently restored just in the last few years.
Yes, gorgeous building. There was a Justice Center building, or Justice Center public meeting that I believe Andy Olson was putting on, and we covered that, and just fell in love with the buildings in downtown.
Can I ask you a question about one of the buildings downtown? I mean, come over the Green Bridge. There's that jewelry store on the corner. On top of that jewelry store is a house.
That's right. That's the Bickman building, and that was a house that was lived in at one point.
How did they get the house up there? I mean, that had to be walking the 2x4s up the stairs?
Well,
it's kind of a... Have you ever been up to the top of that? It's kind of a... I haven't, but it's just a metal... Looks almost like a shop of some sort.
I've never seen a house on top of a building. I mean, when somebody pointed it out to me, it was like, oh. I've pointed it out to other people, and they've not noticed it, but it's like...
Yeah, for your listeners, it's right on top of the Sid Stevens Jewelry Building. So as you're coming in on that bridge, you can see it. It is a curiosity. We should do a little research on that, on how that was put up. So
it's interesting.
So the Christmas parlor tour of homes, again, what's the date and time for that?
It's Sunday, December 9th, and the tour runs from 2 to 7. We will have tickets available at the Visitors Association beginning at 1 o'clock that day, and tickets are $15 per person. There is a discount for seniors. It's $12, or for a large group of 10 or more, it's $12 each person.
What does the money benefit?
The money goes to the Monteith House. It's considered the most authentically restored pioneer home in the state of Oregon, and there is a lot of maintenance involved with that, and they like to have the house open during the summer for visitors and special occasions like these tours. And we also have a lot of school tours come through the Monteith House.
How long have you put on this Christmas parlor tour of homes? How many years?
This is the 33rd annual Christmas parlor tour, and it's one of 2 annual tours. The summer tour started before the Christmas tour, and so we will be having the 35th annual summer tour this 2013. So we hold those twice a year, and it's thanks to our historic Albany residents that are willing to open their homes and share them. And
I can add to that. I've had my home, we've had 3 different homes here in town, and I've had them on 5 times, and there's nothing more rewarding than having about 1,000 people, sometimes more, come through and say, I love what you've done to this house. And so as a historic homeowner, it's a great experience and very rewarding, especially if you do most of the preservation work on the home yourself, to hear so many people say such kind things. So while it's nice for the homeowners to do it, they get paid in compliments all the way. So,
isn't it difficult to open up your home? Sometimes people can dirty it up a little bit. You're a homeowner.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with it. We'll mop afterwards. I would have my home on every year if they'd let me. I think it's great fun. They give you a little gift basket, the amazing food, and it's awesome. My wife wouldn't want me to say that, but yeah, I'd do it every year if they'd let me.
One of the things that I've always loved doing is going through museums, and Charlie Eads owns an historic home down by the church, and he was taking me through the house, which is for sale, by the way, if you want to buy it.
It's a beautiful house, by the way.
The Dawson House.
Yeah. Dawson House.
Incredible.
So he was taking me through that and sharing with me the history of that. And this is kind of gruesome, but there was apparently there was a young man who lost his leg in a trolley car accident, or his leg was mangled up, and they took him into that house, laid him out on the table, and amputated his leg right there in the parlor.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
But I'm sorry if you're grossed out by that story, but the thing that's cool about so you're standing in this place, in this historic home, and realizing the huge amount of history that's gone on in that is just incredible. Love history.
Absolutely.
Well, these homes are well loved and well used, and so if you take a look at them, they're all over 100 years old, the majority of them. The Monteith House is over 160 years old and held, like the first Republican Party was held there. The United Presbyterian Church used to meet there, so they're really well used buildings, and I think, as Rod said, you can just mop up afterwards.
Yeah, and it's such a treasure that we have the Monteith House, by the way. From an Albany visitor's perspective, it is one of the many things that we, particularly in the summer when they are open for tours, it's one of the many things that we are able to point out to visitors about things to do in our community. So we're really, really thankful for all the, again, mostly volunteer work there to make that happen.
The Nosh Tour is also coming up. Before we go to break, let's talk about that a little bit. The date, time, and what exactly is the Nosh Tour?
The Albany Nosh Tour has been around for several years. It's generally a monthly. We do special tours as well, but it's a tour where you hop on our historic trolley and you go around to, most of the time, many of our best restaurants, Sybaris, the Vault 244, Novak's, Clemenza's, Sweet Red. I mean, they go on and on. All the best. Think of the best restaurants in Albany, and you get to tour, meet the chef or the owner. Oftentimes have a food and beverage pairing, and then you just get back on the trolley. You go to another stop. It's about a 3-hour tour. This particular tour, the special holiday tour, is December 15th. And it runs from 4 to 7. You can get reservations if you call us at 541-928-0911, or you can go on our website, albanyvisitors.com, and you can pay via PayPal that way. But this particular tour, we're going to start at a historic home and then finish at a historic home. And in the middle, we're going to tour some of these great restaurants and eat some great food and drink. And it's going to be one that you definitely don't want to miss. As of this morning, there were still 10 spots available on our trolley. So if you're interested in that tour, the cost is a little higher on the special tours. This one is $50. Normally they're $40, but worth every penny and is a great experience. And they're going to take you around to see the holiday lights as well. So a great opportunity to see inside 2 homes and eat some great food at, I think, 3 or 4 of the great restaurants in town.
There's probably somebody holding a pen right now going, please give me the phone number again.
Yeah, 541-928-0911, and say you want to know more about the Albany Nosh Tour that's coming up on December 15th. Whoever answers the phone will be able to take care of you.
And we have Rod Porsche on the phone and Rebecca Bond with the Albany Historic Downtown.
Albany Visitors Association.
Albany Visitors Association, and we'll be back on Valley Talk in just a moment.
'Tis the season and time for planning holiday parties and memorable company celebrations. Be sure to include Mama's Fine Italian in your plans. Have the party at Mama's in Lebanon or book them to cater your event. Either way, it will be superb, and your guests will love it. Need a special bottle of wine for dinner tonight or for a party hostess gift? No better place or price than Mama's Incomparable Wine Shop. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of the other 5 days and join your friends at Mama's. Like them on Facebook or contact them through their website, mamasfineitalian.com. Call for reservations or to plan your holiday party. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts building.
Banking these days can be pretty impersonal. You've got your big banks, your internet banks, your do-it-yourself banks, and your too-big-to-fail banks. That's why you might be interested in an alternative, Willamette Community Bank. I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We believe you deserve better service without sacrificing a thing. So if you're feeling underserved, make the switch to the best banking option out there. Willamette Community Bank, service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC.
Wilson Motors in Corvallis is ready to finish 2012 big. The 2013s are rolling in, so every new 2012 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram truck have to go. Right now, you can take advantage of the great prices and incentives on all remaining 2012 vehicles in stock. It's the Big Finish 2012 at Wilson Motors. Save big, save now at Wilson Motors, where you'll see the notable difference in your buying experience. Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan, Corvallis. Online at saveatwilson.com.
Home for the Holidays is a celebration of love, hope, and restoration. The ministries of Teen Challenge Northwest, Albany Helping Hands, and Love Inc. have come together in unity to celebrate their ministries and their work with the poor, hungry, homeless, afflicted, and the addicted. A special night of celebration is being hosted by Albany's First Assembly of God on Tuesday, November 27th at 7 p.m. A variety of worship music will accompany those who tell their stories of restoration and thanksgiving. Home for the Holidays, Feel the Love, November 27th at 7 p.m.
Painting is a simple pleasure when you get help from the friendly folks at Economy Supply Building Center. That's because Economy Supply is your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center. So they know how to use and can help you select the right Ace Royal paint at a price you'll love. Colorful, high-quality Ace Royal paints start at the everyday Economy Supply low price of just $23.99 a gallon. Remember, Ace is the helpful place, and you'll find Economy Supply Building Center where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Less hype, just quality news, sports, and smart talk. From your friends at 1580 KGAL.
This is Valley Talk, and can't tell you live, with a gentleman walking around outside the building. I was walking outside to see what he was doing, and so I'm back. Hi, this is live radio. Don't you just love it? Love it. Hey, we have in the studios today Rod Portia, and Rebecca Bond had to leave. Something about wanted to get back at the lady in traffic. No, not. Just a joke. Rebecca, just kidding. But Rod Portia is here with the Albany Visitors Association, and of course John Gibson is here. We're going to be talking about some good news with John and some, I don't know, the jury's still out yet. But the good news is that the holiday shopping numbers are up, looking good for the economy. Cairo, Egypt, there's some stuff going on in the square over there that we're going to be talking about here in a minute. But back to the good news again. Rod Portia, Albany Visitors Association, you have a new home.
We do. We just moved late summer, had our grand opening on November 1st. We are now located on the corner of 3rd and Lion, right across the street from Pizza King. And we, for at least the last 14, 15 years, we're in the Two Rivers Market, which was a great home because a lot of folks knew where it was, but a lot of visitors to our community didn't know where that was. And that's really the key to a visitor center, is visitors knowing where you are and being right on Highway 20 as you come through historic downtown Albany on your way to Corvallis or Newport. Now they see our visitor center and they're stopping there. We have our own private parking just off 3rd, and we have seen a real increase in the number of people coming in, not only for Albany information, but Oregon information. And that's a real opportunity for Albany Visitors Association to capture those people and convince them to shop here, to go to our restaurants, perhaps even to stay the night. We've got a great bed and breakfast downtown, wonderful hotels along the freeway, and our move, just in the last few months, we don't even have our permanent sign up, but our move has really shown a real increase in the number of folks we're able to reach, which is great.
We talked a lot about the historic nature of Albany. Just how important is that to the tourism industry here in the city? Have we done any number crunching on that?
Well, it's everything in terms of who we are. We have the bulk of the people who come to visit our town are here because they have an interest in historic homes. We have over 700 historic homes and buildings, really some remarkably well-restored homes and buildings that's changing every day. If you lived here 15, 20 years ago and went away and came back, you would not recognize our historic downtown, all the improvements that have been made, and the homes themselves. My own family, we moved here 11 years ago and have been restoring our homes, and little by little, the Monteith historic neighborhood and the Hackelman, where I live now, people are restoring their homes, and it makes a huge difference in terms of the reputation that we have as a community. I don't know if you're familiar with Astoria.
Oh, yeah.
It underwent I think, a similar transformation in terms of what it might offer visitors in the last, say, 20 years. And we were there just last week. My parents live in that area now, so we were there for Thanksgiving. And again, extraordinary what they have been able to do in a short period of time to really revitalize that community. And that's what we're hoping for here in Albany, is to carry with that historic brand and bring more people here.
Let's go over once again the schedule of the holiday events at this part of the show.
Sure.
So which one's first?
The first one's the downtown Twice Around Parade, and it's Sunday, December 2nd, and it starts at 5 o'clock, the parade, and then they'll have the tree lighting immediately following. And that, if you go back to that, I mentioned the Two Rivers Market where we were before, in that parking lot is where the tree will be lit. So it's a great community event and a fun thing for the family. And then the next one is the 33rd Annual Christmas Parlor Tour, and that's Sunday, December 9th from 2 to 7. And if you're interested in that, tickets are available starting at 1 o'clock at the new location of the Albany Visitors Association. They're on 3rd and Lion. And then finally, the special Holiday Nosh Tour is Saturday, December 15th. That runs from 4 to 7, and that's where you hop on our trolley and have a really personal experience with the chefs and owners of some of our finest restaurants. And on this particular tour, you get to take a peek inside the parlors of two of one of our nicest homes in town, and there'll be great food and drink at each stop. So must do. And if you're interested in going on that Nosh tour, call us at 541-928-0911. That's the Albany Visitors Association, and we can tell you more about how you can get tickets to that.
So the Nosh tour is the 15th.
The 15th, right. Saturday, December 15th. Yeah.
One of the things, okay, anything else you want to add to the historic nature of Albany or these tours or any of the events?
No, I just if you're within our listening ears, it's worth coming to historic downtown Albany and experiencing some of this. That's partly why I choose to live here. And if you're in Lebanon or Sweet Home or Corvallis, we're worth the drive. Salem, as far as this can reach, come see us and experience it for yourself.
All righty. Rod, thank you for being with us today. You can hang around a little bit and talk Cairo politics with us, shopping, whatever. Now we're going to be talking about numbers here for shopping nationwide, and they're up and they're good. What have you been hearing from retailers in Albany? Have you had a chance to visit with them?
Well, I know there's
a real push
to shop locally. Just last week, we had the unwrapping of downtown, where they put wrapping on their windows and then they unwrap it in a ceremony. They stay open late, and I believe this Saturday is the real focus on shopping locally. And so I would encourage anyone who's still got some shopping to do to give our local retailers the first shot. It means jobs in our community, and it makes for a vibrant downtown. There's some really great specialty shops downtown Albany, and all throughout Albany, but particularly downtown. And it'd be great if you were in the market for something, for gifts, to give the locals a shot first.
Okay. One of the things that I want to mention here in this show, we'll mention it again before the end of the show, but there was a plane crash yesterday afternoon. 2 people lost their lives. Timothy Dean Carter, 46 years of age, of Portland, and Jeff Earl Kropf, 45, of Halsey. Now, regarding Kropf, there's been a tremendous confusion out there. This is not the Jeff Kropf who is the conservative radio talk show host. This is his cousin. The man who died, his nickname is Tebow. And this man is about 5 years younger than the talk show host. So, and I had some people talk to me this morning and say, well, I heard that, the conservative talk show host was killed in a plane crash. No, it was not. It was his cousin. So Jeff Earl, or Tebow Kropf, 45 years of age, of Halsey, is the person who died. Jeff Kropf, the conservative talk show host, is alive and well. Of course, the family is grieving the loss of the younger Jeff, but we just wanted to clear that up.
Equally tragic. We're just trying to clear it up.
Yeah. just want to clear up the fact that there are some people that are under the impression that just heard the name and just assumed that it was the talk show host when it was not. A number of people were confused about that this morning, and so we wanted to spend some time and set the record straight. All right. So when we come back from the break, we are going to be talking about shopping. Numbers are up. Wall
we
Street's
got a
happy.
big budget problem, too, man.
Yeah.
The fiscal cliff that they're talking about, 34 days.
Talk about that. But also, we want to talk about Egypt a little bit. That could upset the apple cart in so many ways. The Middle East has always been interesting, continues to be so. We'll continue on Valley Talk here in just a moment.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Target Pharmacy, here to give you a healthy dose of healthy savings and happy shopping. This is Charles Osgood. A dead language is defined as a language no one speaks anymore. Latin and ancient Greek meet that definition, although we know that both were enormously influential in forming the languages spoken today and the way we think as well. There were many languages now lost right here in what's now the United States, as our CBS News colleague Seth Doan.
There were once more than 300 different languages spoken by Native Americans across North America, but around 125 of those have been lost. The first to be brought back to life was the Wampanoag language, in part because it was written down.
About the Wampanoag Language Reclamation Project after this. With the holidays almost here, you don't have time to go to the post office. Think about the traffic and the parking, and once you get there, it'll be crowded with people mailing their gifts and packages. Well, avoid all the holiday hassle and skip that trip to the post office. Do what I do and use Stamps.com. Buy and print official U.S. postage right from your own desk, using your own computer and printer. Print postage for any letter or package the instant you need it, and then the mailman picks it up. I know Stamps.com will make your life easier this time of year because it's made my life easier at the office all year round. Right now, Stamps.com has a special offer since you listen to the Osgood File. It's a no-risk trial with a $110 bonus that includes a digital scale and up to $55 in free postage, but only if you use my last name, Osgood. So go to Stamps.com. First thing you do, click on the radio microphone at the top of the home page and type in Osgood, O-S-G-O-O-D. That's Stamps.com and enter Osgood. Here's what happened, says Seth Doan.
Colonists translated the Bible into Wampanoag in an effort to convert Native Americans to Christianity.
They wanted us to learn the English language, and they wanted to civilize us.
Joan Tavares Avant is a tribal elder of the Wampanoag in Mashpee, Massachusetts.
Tavares Avant says that dealt a blow to a culture where much was passed down orally. Today, that Bible, along with documents including land agreements with colonizers, are used as a sort of Rosetta Stone to decipher what was lost.
That's what we have. That's all we have.
But they're doing it, says Doan.
Since 1993, the Mashpee, Massachusetts Wampanoag Language Reclamation Project has worked to rebuild this language. Today, Wampanoag is being taught year-round.
Son Wapayu?
Tracy Kelly is one of just 2 full-time Wampanoag teachers.
They're taught from day one that this is very special work. This is sacred. Language is special.
Just to hear them speak it, it's almost like medicine.
How?
Because it heals me.
The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
So you're driving to work in the morning when you hit a detour down a gravel road for 18 miles. Luckily, every car or pickup tire that Les Schwab sells comes with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Along with great prices, we give you free flat repairs, rebalancing, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. So, why lifetime protection? Because you just might need it. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Albany's Mennonite Home is pleased to have earned a perfect score from the State of Oregon surveyors, making Mennonite Home one of the top skilled nursing and rehabilitation facilities in Oregon, providing the highest possible quality of care. As part of the Mennonite Village Retirement Community, Mennonite Home provides the rehabilitation and therapy services for people of all faiths transitioning from a hospital stay to home. They work directly with each resident's healthcare, pharmacy, and insurance providers, making life easier for residents and their families. A wide range of resident programs are offered to meet individual interests, including outdoor gardening, scenic walks, cooking and baking, art and music, pet therapy, and brain fitness activities. Mennonite Home is where you'll find superior standards and amazing levels of devotion. The proof is in their reputation and resident satisfaction. Rooms are currently available. Call Geraldine at 541-928-7232 or visit MennoniteHome.com.
You're invited to the Tree of Remembrance ceremony this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Albany City Hall. A ceremony to remember those killed or injured by impaired drivers. Lynn County District Attorney-elect Doug Martini will be the guest speaker, and 3 members of the Eugene Symphony will be playing at this ceremony. If you would like to add a name of a loved one that was killed or injured by an impaired driver, please contact Officer Robert Hayes of the Albany Police Department at 541-917-7680 or email robert.hayes@cityofalbany.net.
The Car Show, Saturday afternoons on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
This is Valley Talk. You know, every once in a while, the bunny trail is very, very interesting, and we're about to embark on a journey of the bunny trail. And we were sitting here talking in the break just a little bit, and Rod Porsche is kind enough to hang around here a little bit. And we were just talking about the economy and salaries, and Rod made a comment that I said, we're going to talk about this on the air, and that is, because there's a little bit of a disagreement here in the studio. I always like disagreements. Not that I'm trying to cause a fight here, but there are people that say members of Congress make too much money. Everybody else is in the breadline, and they just make too much money. Their health insurance premiums are better than everybody else, and they're the picture is that they're the fat cats in Washington, D.C. getting rich while everybody else is in the poorhouse. If we could look on the internet right now, House, Senate members and delegates get $174,000 a year. Speaker of the House, $223,000 a year. House and Senate majority and minority leaders, $193,400 a year. That's the current salary. Now, so this came up in the conversation during the break. And Rod, you worked for a member of Congress.
I did. Long time ago, back in the early 90s, I worked on Capitol Hill for Congressman Mike Kopetsky, who represented the 5th Congressional District here in Oregon.
And you say they don't get paid enough.
I think when you consider the number of hours that they work and the impact it has on their families, and the fact that they are required to maintain 2 homes, one in the D.C. area, which is very expensive. Having lived there, I can tell you, very expensive to live, even for someone making $174,000 a year, and then to have maintain a household in the district, which they're required to do, it can get pretty expensive. Now, for Oregon, you can get a pretty reasonable living accommodations, both in the Oregon area and then in D.C. But if you lived, say, in Manhattan or San Francisco and had to maintain 2 households that were truly livable households where you could entertain because you have so many events in terms of dinners and that sort of thing, it can get kind of expensive. I don't know a single member of Congress who's in it for the money. That's what kind of drove this conversation with John and
I totally disagree, man.
They're in it for power. They're in it for the ego, no question there at all. But given their educational background, the vast majority of them have advanced degrees, and the requirement that they maintain 2 households, sometimes on different parts of America. Now, there are advantages if you're like a Maryland member of Congress. You can actually take Metro home. So some are exempted, but for certainly the West Coast members and folks who have to fly to get to their district, man, that is a financial burden to be sure. You got to factor that in.
Now, if you don't mind the conversation here, John, you disagree.
Well, I mean, I'll just say that, Maxine Waters, under investigation because of her husband doing government business, getting government contracts. You got Nancy Pelosi, one of the biggest insider. It was legal up until about 6 months ago for a politician to know that they were going to just pick Intel. We were going to indict the CEO of Intel tomorrow. It was legal, and Mrs. Pelosi was one of the biggest ones that did this. It was legal for her to short that stock today, let the news break tomorrow, sell the stock, and make the profit. And there's a book called "Throw Them All Out," and that I would throw all of them out. I'm a big term limit guy, but they make so much money doing other things other than just legislature salary that it's not fair just to look at their salary. Nancy Pelosi flies on a private Air Force jet back and forth to California. She's not on what is it, Southwest? I mean,
I think if you look at the vast majority of members of Congress, they are flying those red eyes, and they are not in private jets. Now, maybe because she was Speaker of the House, I believe she has added security. And so that's an issue. But by and large, you have 435 members of Congress, of which maybe 3 are flying because of security reasons.
I just think that they should go bare bones. I think they should go bare bones. I mean, I know it's a hard job, but I think there's farmers out there on combines just laughing their behinds off, thinking that that's a hard job. I mean, they're lawyers.
Well, okay, this was an interesting bunny trail. We got it out there and talked about. I do want to spend some time talking about the numbers from the holiday shopping and so on and so forth. I also want to talk about Egypt. Rod, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
And thanks for kind of embarking on Dave's bunny trail.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Nice to meet both of you.
And good luck with the holiday event calendar. We'll be talking about some of the events, and I'll be attending as many of them as I can, because my Norma wants to go on all these events. She loves the historic nature of the city and so on and so forth.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. And again, anybody who has questions, you can call us at 541-928-0911. That's Albany Visitors Association, or our website, albanyvisitors.com. Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, thanks.
Nice to have you.
Let's talk about the numbers, the holiday shopping numbers for nationwide. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, looking good?
Looked really, really good. You can kind of equate that to gas prices being down around $3.40 now. People feel like they have a little more money to spend. So Black Friday was the best Black Friday ever. On Monday, Cyber Monday, IBM reported sales up 30%. Visa reported, I believe, $5 billion in transactions over the weekend. So that's a good tracking number. Now the thought is, have we shot our last bullet, or are we going to continue to buy at a slower pace, but a consistent pace until Christmas? Because these retailers, they make their money the last few days of the holiday season. I mean, all the rest of the year is not profit. It's not when they make the bulk of their money. The bulk of their money comes between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's a very important time. So you want to see things like if gas creeps back up, that's a problem. If we see other increases in things, that's a problem.
So are we seeing this as kind of a consumer confidence vote to the positive? It would seem so.
Consumer confidence was up. It was 73.1. I think now it's 73.7. Still not quite healthy, but it's because gas is coming down a little bit. The housing market is picking up a little bit. Prices are up. Things are feeling pretty good. But we've got this looming budget problem coming on the 1st of January, and we have everybody in Washington except President Obama, who's campaigning in Pennsylvania for what he wants to do for the budget. We need to have somebody. We need to have a leader in Washington talking to Reid and Boehner and forging a deal. It's time to quit campaigning. So Wall Street doesn't like it. Wall Street started out strong today and went negative halfway through. And they're even talking about letting them all expire on the 1st and retroactively going in on like the 15th of January and putting them all back in place for those of us in the middle class. I mean, this is crazy. If they would solve it today, the market would go up 300 points.
I like the comment Ben Bernanke said the other day, where you guys just need to sit down and fix this and quit bubble gumming it and duct tape and so on and so forth.
Right. Well, and
are they listening? Are they hearing that, or no? Is it still business as usual?
It's still full campaign mode. And no matter what happens, the Republicans will be blamed because, in my opinion, the mainstream media is on the liberal side of things, and so no matter what happens, the Republicans will take the hit. So what I hope happens is that they agree to cap some of the deductions for people making over 250. They're even talking maybe over 1 million, people making over 1 million. The sad thing is that if all this stuff blows up and all the tax rates go up and everything, you know how many days that's going to fund our government? Less than the fingers on your hand. If you have 5 fingers on both hands, it's going to fund us for 8 days if we do all of the budget, if we let everything just go kaput. Now, if that's not the height of silliness that we're arguing over 8 days instead of going in and saying, you know, if you make over $250 million a year and you're 35, you know, you're not going to get Social Security when you get old. You can put your money in a 401k or whatever and do it yourself. You know, if you're making $1 million, if you're Warren Buffett, you don't need Medicare. You don't need, you know, whatever. And may I just say, all I hear is about these evil, awful, rich Republicans. It occurred to me the other day, the two richest people in the world are Democrats. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. How come they're not vilified? You know, how come nobody says, hey, Bill, why don't you write an extra $1 million to the government? You can, you know, you can. You can take out your checkbook right now, Dave, and write a check to the United States Treasury for whatever amount you want. Sign it and mail it. And I guarantee you they'll cash it.
I wish I could do that, but
I want my money back.
Well, hey, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Cairo, some interesting things going on over there. That's the next hot-button item in the Middle East, and we'll be visiting about that on Valley Talk in just a moment. Don't forget to sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us, and you can send me an email, dave@kgal.com, or call us at 926-KGAL or 451-KGAL, Quiznos Taste on Us, and hopefully we'll draw your name out of the hat and give you a $10 gift certificate for anything you want in the store. Albany Quiznos only, located next to Novak's Restaurant and next to the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. Dale and the crew, a good, fine supporter of Valley Talk. And we will be right back.
For the place that has a lot of everything Christian for less, come to Tree of Life Christian Outlet. It's Kids Weekend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For 3 days only, every kid's Bible, book, CD, DVD, game, and toy will be at least 20% off retail. And hundreds of books, CDs, DVDs, apparel, and gift items are only $4.97. That's right, $4.97. All of Tyndale House Publishers' one-year devotionals for family, teens, and kids are on sale, too. Tyndale House Publishers' one-year book of devotions for boys or girls, only $9.97. One-year book of devotions for kids, only $9.97. Over 50 Adventures in Odyssey titles by Focus on the Family are on sale, too. Kids Weekend Sale also features Tyndale House Publishers' New Living Bibles for kids. We've slashed prices on every single kids item, so hurry in and stock up on great Christmas gifts for the kids. 3 days only, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't want to miss this sale. Call 888-33-BIBLE or come see us at Kings Boulevard in Corvallis, Gateway Mall in Springfield, Valley River Center in Eugene, the Columbia Gorge Premium Outlet in Troutdale, or in Seaside or Lincoln City at the Factory Outlet stores. Tree of Life Christian Outlet. A little out of the way and a lot less to pay.
It's a favorite seasonal tradition, the Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra's holiday program. This year's program is Sunday, December 2nd, 3 o'clock at the LaSalle Stewart Center. Marlon Carlson conducts the orchestra, and with the OSU choruses under the direction of Stephen Zilke, performs classical and familiar holiday favorites. And, of course, the holiday concert concludes with the popular sing-along. Tickets are available at Grace Winds Music and Grassroots Books and Music in Corvallis. Reserved seat tickets may be purchased online at cosusymphony.org. Up to 3 K-8 students accompanied by an adult and high school and college students with ID may be given free general admission tickets at the door starting 1 hour prior to the concert, depending on availability. So make it a part of your holiday tradition. Holiday favorites with the Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra. This Sunday, December 2nd at the LaSalle Stewart Center on the OSU campus.
This Medicare season, come home to Samaritan Advantage Health Plan, where you're always welcome and never a stranger. Home is all about you and your needs, and that's how our members feel when they join Samaritan Advantage. For example, our members know we take our commitment to their care seriously because we take the time to listen to their concerns, either on the phone or in our Corvallis office, and they know we know local health care best. After all, we live here too. Now's the time to get the quality care and treatment you deserve during Medicare's open enrollment. Learn more by calling Samaritan Advantage in Corvallis at 1-800-832-4580. It's not too late to discover how you can get affordable health care from Samaritan Advantage, just as your friends and neighbors have. Don't wait another year. Come home to a better health plan. Give us a call at 1-800-832-4580.
Into the woods and onto the waters. Listen to Northwestern Outdoors, Saturday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
This is Valley Talk and a very good morning. About 5 more minutes in the morning time here. Don't forget to register for Quiznos Taste on Us, and good luck with that. Do want to mention once again that the Jeff Kropp that was killed in the plane crash near Albany yesterday was not the conservative talk show host. It was his cousin, Jeff Tebow Earl Kropp, the one who died in the plane crash, and our sympathies to the family, thoughts and prayers with them. But Jeff Kropp, the talk show host, the conservative activist in Oregon, was not killed in that plane crash. So just want to
I'm sure he's mourning the loss.
I'm sure he is. So let's talk about Egypt. I'm Dateline Cairo today, right now, in fact, angry chants filling the Tahrir Square. I'm having a hard time with that name.
That's right.
Tahrir Square. I'm sure I got it wrong. Because of a decree by President Mohammed, I'll just let you read this. Mohammed Morsi, saying that essentially his word is law.
Well, he's the new dictator,
yes.
Basically. I remember back when the revolution started, and they were going to get rid of Mubarak. And we were going to lead from behind and allow the UN to take care of this. I knew at the time, and so did many other commentators, knew at the time that this was going to be the outcome of this. And it was painted as this wonderful, independent uprising, and it's going to turn into a caliphate spreading from Egypt through Libya all the way back into the Middle East. And just like back in the Babylon days, you're going to have a long swath of extreme Islam where women can't drive a car, they can't be out by themselves, be around a stranger that they don't know. That's what we've ushered in. Now, the dictators, Mubarak, yeah, they were bad guys, but they guaranteed Israel's safety, and that's all I really care about. So we now have a situation where Israel feels threatened. And
even more so now.
I don't think our president has done a good job shoring up our relations with Mr. Netanyahu. He's been rude to him twice, and at one point in a press conference told him that they were going to go back to the 67 borders. And Mr. Netanyahu got up and took President Barack out to the woodshed and whipped him up a little bit, and explained to him that they were not going back to the 67 borders. So that right there let me know that the Jewish state is more in peril today than it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was just looking over the stories.
Did you see the news last week? The Jewish people sprawled on the ground with rockets going off. 95 rockets on one day. Matt, what would we do to Mexico if they fired 95 rockets into Arizona?
Well, we'd obviously respond, but even more than that, there's a gentleman that we bring over as part of the ministry I'm involved with, the Jesus Network. He is a biblical archaeologist, and he was going to a community, visited a community. In fact, he volunteered in the Israeli Defense Force, the IDF, the Israeli Army, for a time, is going to continue to do that. But there's a town in Israel called Sderot, and in Sderot, they have 3 rockets every day that have been going into that city. Where's that in the news reports? Mm-hmm. We're not hearing anything about that. That's been going on for a long time.
And it's subtle stuff. This is why it goes on. It's subtle stuff. I heard a news report the other day. I think it was NBC, but I don't know for sure. But what they were reporting was on the Israeli side, they gave a death count. On the Palestinians, it was the Palestinians killed. There's a vast difference between saying someone's dead and someone's killed. And it's that little manipulation, that little bit of psychological tweaking that most people don't pick up on. Especially if you're a liberal, you don't want to pick up on it. I mean, how are you going to put a happy face on this in Egypt? What happens when blood flows in the street?
Which it looks like it's pretty close to doing right now.
And I feel lied to about this.
Okay.
That I knew it was coming, and yet Barack allowed it. Who in the right mind didn't know 9/11 was a terrorist attack on the night of 9/11? I don't know anyone.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up here and listen for promos as far as tomorrow's guests in the show. We're still booking. This is Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Don't forget to sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us, Dave at KGAL.com. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy Christmas. Bye-bye.
Around the clock, around the world. Your first choice for information is News Talk 1580, KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.